Always look around and identify your 5 loaves and 2 fish. To you, you see nothing. But look again, there's always something that you can use, always. I like to look at everything in a bright perspective, in a positive perspective. Always have this mentality of look around and see, what can God use here? What can I use? I have this little faith left, but this is what I have to offer. Every situation where I have offered something to God and said, God, this is the little that I have, I usually trust that He will multiply. And a lot of times it does come doubled up. It does come with miracles. Like in this country where I am, in Czech Republic, as an English speaker, it's not easy to find a job as an English speaker, right? And all I can use is the skills I have. I have speaking skills, and as a lawyer, I have persuasion skills. I've been here a while and truly searching for a job for some time before I got my actual job. And I was telling God that I do have this skill set and I have made these applications, though I didn't know they would come through anyway. But sometimes you just tell God, I have done this. Now the rest is left to you to do, because I've done everything. And so even your mind, your skills, your resources, what do you have in your hand right now? What do you have in your hand? Anything that you have in your hand. If you need more, that which you have in your hand, that's what you use to ask God to help you. Nowadays, I do things differently. After I realized that if you show God that I have something in my hand, I have these certificates, I have these cooking skills, I have these driving skills, I have these listening and speaking skills, I have these storytelling skills, I have skills to teach kids. I reached out to a lady in Brno when I was living in Brno, and I did tell her that I can teach English and I can teach. And I like that she spoke to me well, and she was able to meet me. I met her in a social media platform, and I was at the time looking for a job for English speaking people in Czech Republic. I was surprised because it was the first time that I met someone from a social media platform for a job. Okay, leave LinkedIn out of this. A platform that you're supposed to be like where experts meet and chat and have fun and talk about their experience, maybe here in Czech Republic, people from US, people from Bulgaria, people from Hungary, people from Slovakia, Kenya, people from Nigeria, everywhere, people from Africa. We meet, we talk and see how the experience is. So I didn't anticipate that someone can reach out to me from there if I message them that I'm interested in a job. So she contacted me, and she was able to meet with me just for coffee and just to ask me. I think maybe to gauge maybe my English or how I can teach or how I can talk and maybe my fluency. And I'm happy that she was able to identify that I can teach almost immediately. So I'm happy that she gave me the job to teach in Makio. At that time, I was new here, by the way. I didn't know what to do, what else to do. So I'm happy that in that way I was able to use the skills that I have, being able to teach, being able to be friendly among people, and I was able to teach the elderly. I'm happy that she gave me that chance, that opportunity, because I didn't anticipate that she will give it to me. So this is an example that anything that you have in your hands, don't underestimate yourself, and don't ever underestimate also what you have, because not everyone can do what you can do. So I was given a job just like that, So offer whatever you have, offer it. A lot of times people normally underestimate volunteer jobs. Giving something for free does not mean that you can't do anything. Giving services for free mostly means that you have something to offer. You are trying to offer something. And a lot of times I've gotten jobs from volunteer work. Even if I didn't want to do it, I just did it because I knew that there's a blessing that will arise from this. And normally I want to learn, and the best way to start from or to begin, if you have nothing, maybe you're searching for a job. I have been in situations a lot of times in Kenya where I've had to volunteer in some organizations, and the voluntary work was not easy. In fact, it was the hardest, because when you're a volunteer, people treat you the worst way possible. People treat you how they want to. But the truth is that when you offer a service, when you do offer something wholeheartedly, that is what you'll get back to you. And how God works is that He makes you, from that little action or gesture, to show that you care, you really want to help out, and you really want to have this job, you really want something. When you show God that this is what I want and I'm going for it, then He now makes you get a job in that way. The organizations that have done volunteer work, most of the time I've gotten, and I was hired in the company or the organization to do something better than how I started as a volunteer or an intern. It always pays off, but who likes volunteer work? But volunteer work is the best place to start. So an example like that: what is the 5 loaves and 2 fish that you have in your hand that you've been holding on and not offering, and maybe not telling God, this is what I have and this is what I want you to use? That which you're underestimating is the one that God can use. So that's what I normally do with the small skill set that I have, or anything that I have in my hands. I use it, and then God multiplies it. Here's a declaration that you can use from the story of the boy with the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. Lord, help us to see the value in what you've already placed in our lives. Help us not to withhold what seems small, but to place it in your hands and watch you do the impossible. Learn to offer what you have unto the Lord. Trust that He's going to multiply it. And also, don't underestimate what is in your hands. So I just reviewed that this week in the story of the 5 loaves and 2 fish, and I was able to see the miracles that God has done in my life, and to remember that as life goes on, each and every small thing that I have in my hands, to learn to just offer it and say, God, this is what I have to offer.